folks. Welcome one and all to the K.O.E. Nation. I thought that would be an appropriate and apropos introduction to this particular show, folks, was the report that I dropped this morning. And boy, howdy, throughout the day, it's just gotten worse, hasn't it, folks? Holy shit. I wonder how much hyperbole there is in my title tonight. The World War III stream. Justin Motes, K.O.E. rules. Thank you, Justin Motes. Yes, I do. I really do rule a lot. But yes, so do all of you. You in the K.O.E. Nation, you, Justin Motes, like all of you beautiful people. And like Big Buck and Empire said, help us grow our community, send this to a friend, like the page, or send stars to help us continue creating great K.O.E. content. But yeah, check this guy out, Big Buck and Empire on Facebook. That's where you get your weekly K.O.E. content over at the Dog and Chicken Show. It's good times. So, folks, there's just no news today, right? It's just been a real slow news week. It's just slow news day, right? There's nothing to talk about. Like, oh wait, Russia, Ukraine, holy shit! Like, yeah, that kind of that crept up on quite a few folks, to be honest. Like, if we're being just perfectly frank here, folks, not a lot of people thought that this was going to go this way. They thought it was going to go a lot of talking, a lot of finger wagging, and that'd be the end of it. But boy, howdy, the fucking artillery is flying in fucking Ukraine today, which is not good for nobody. Dalton Carter saying, I called it. I mean, it's one of those things, like, it could have gone either way. I figured it wouldn't, but now that we're here, holy fucking shitballs. Now the question is, where does it go from here? Biden's speech, as somebody that's anti-war, made me feel good. It's like, oh, okay, he's not going to do a goddamn thing. He ain't doing shit for apple butter when it comes to Putin. He's going to, we're going to sanction some things. We're going to do some other paperwork, and we're going to send them a strongly worded letter. It's like, oh, okay, so they're doing nothing to Putin then. If Putin expands any further from here, that's when it's going to get kind of interesting. But, one thing I couldn't have anticipated was that Putin psychologically wanted to do this. I thought he was looking at it purely from a cost-benefit analysis, and I didn't really look at it from, because let's be frank, most people in this audience don't have this keen insight into the Russian culture to where we would understand, oh, well, yeah, it turns out 50% of the Russian population supports Putin, which is fucking astounding, which isn't everybody, which shows you can't blame the average Russian person for any of this, but shows quite a few do support. But, I wonder, we all know polls can be manipulated, but this is uniquely bad. I will say that usually, here at the K.O.E. Nation, we can put a kind face and everything, but this is uniquely bad. This is Russia going into Ukraine, and now their argument as well, we shouldn't have given up Ukraine, and that was a big mistake when the Soviet Union collapsed, and at these different points, there's too many concessions. It's like, that seems kind of like a really fine point to try and put on something, and I don't know if that really justifies a fucking invasion. So that is one metric, and then I've got something I need to ask all the people in the audience here, everyone within the sound of my voice. I'm going to be asking this question several times tonight because it's worth repeating and it's worth noting. Is this worth sending our sons and daughters to go fight and die for? Is that worth it? And now we're talking about a nation that's definitely got war fatigue. We just kind of, sort of, a little bit ended a war in Afghanistan after 20 years. When we go to war, it takes us forever to fucking end them. And so definitely there's a lot of that war fatigue going around right now. People are not wanting to dedicate themselves to another 20-year war in some place that before that war, nobody in America could even point it out on a map. And it was in a side chat, I was asked, so what is the interest of the American interest that we're trying to protect here? And just to be a smartass, I said, Joe Biden's paycheck. And people are like, oh, there's unfortunately some truth to that. Yes, Ukraine is where the elites send their idiot sons and their idiot grandchildren and their idiot nieces and nephews. And that's where they send them to go pilfer money from unscrupulous energy companies, winky face allegedly, in order to, that's how they make their money, through these, let's call them less than shining examples of ways of making money. So yeah, this is excuse me. But yeah, Ukraine is basically where the elites send their kids to skim some more money off the top. So unfortunately, let me ask you, are you willing to send, do you think it's worth sending our sons and daughters to fight and die so the Biden family can continue to pilfer a little extra money so that we can, so that the elites, and this doesn't go just one way, the Romneys are over there, fucking everybody's over there. And I just, I'm sorry, maybe call me a peacenik if you want, I don't care, but I just don't see this as being worth the blood and treasure. Is this something that you're willing to commit your own family to? To me, it's in the name of Biden fucking keeping whatever he needs to keep secret in Ukraine. No, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. It's not worth the blood and treasure to me. Dalton Carter goes, if this goes decently for Russia, Poland could be looked at next, which 48 hours ago would have sounded crazy. What a weird world we live in, huh, folks? Just most, this is going to get messy, but hopefully not to the point of all-out war. Well, that's the thing, is any war with major nuclear powers is nothing but just kind of playing with the explosives, the planes, and the ships until the eventual and inevitable nuclear exchange. All that is just kind of showing off all your neat toys that you have. So that's what I always find fascinating, because this is the first time since we've had major nuclear powers where we've had this kind of land grab where nuclear powers could get messy. And boy, we really lived under the misapprehension that this could never get messy, didn't we? We all thought, nah, this new nuclear peace will go on forever, right? Right? Well, we're about to test that. Now, the big question is this going to go on for weeks, or is this or months, years, or is this going to be over in weeks? So that's another question I have for the audience. First question is is this something that you think we should be sending our sons and daughters to go fight? And to me, I'll never forget Ben Kingsley's performance in Gandhi. Such an inspiring performance. If you've never seen it, you really need to. And it's World War II, and he's on his way to make a speech. And British soldiers are asking him, I'm sorry, Mr. Gandhi, but I must inquire as to the exact nature of your speech this evening. And he goes, first, just to be a smartass, he goes, the importance of goat's milk in daily diet. And then the soldier looks at him like, really? And then he goes, but I can also assure you that I will speak against war. And it's just beautiful. And so I was so to me, I always kind of keep that but I also assure you that I will speak against war. So that's always something that I keep in the back of my mind and in my heart here, because, war is just the soft hides of the innocent being rended by the most traumatized among us, unfortunately. So whenever we can keep the leash on the dogs of war, that is preferable. And unfortunately, they are unleashed in our world, and it's not going to be good going from here, folks. So my other question is, how long do you think this is going to be? Is this going to be a few weeks incursion? Is this going to be a few months incursion? Is this going to be something that goes on for some time, like a year or two, maybe 2-3 years? Because normally Russia does not stay in protracted engagements, especially after their Afghanistan debacle. It's something they generally don't do, but we will have to see on that. So I'm kind of the opinion, to be honest, if I was Putin, well, I'm not going to try to claim that, but okay, if you really wanted to be a dick about it, which Putin's probably going to want to be a dick about it. Call me crazy. He might want to be a dick about it. He should probably keep these kind of tensions going at least past the midterm elections in the United States, because then Biden's hamstrung. Because this is just disaster. He was already getting enough flack because of the Afghanistan debacle, and now he's going to have this hanging over his head coming into the midterms. This is potentially bad. Now, if Biden can somehow pull a win out of this, that would be one of the political turnarounds of the century. Now, I don't know how you do that from here, which, by the way, folks, for those wondering, I'm drinking a mix this evening of Pedro Jimenez Muy Dulce sherry, and it's mixed with this lovely mango nectar, and it's just holy hell. And you know how wonderful it is when once in a while you get just the perfect proportion mix in a drink, and it's just marvelous. So, and also toast all the people who are struggling today, and to those who've lost loved ones. Sad cheers to you. Drink to the dead and raise your glass and toast and in solemnness, because some folks have lost their lives today. Which is unfortunate, very unfortunate. And there's conflicting reports. The Russians are going to tell you that, one person stubbed their toe and they immediately applied a bandage and gave them a shoulder massage and told them it's going to be okay and read them a bedtime story and gently tucked him in and just, shh, don't worry. That's what the Russians are going to tell you. The Ukrainian side is going to tell you, we have lost 16 billion people in the first day. Please send, you're going to have just these wildly different numbers. It's going to be, especially for the first few weeks. So you got to be careful, because we are dealing with imperfect narrators at the moment. We're dealing with people who are telling you the facts, but they're putting their bend on it to try and sway you to their perspective, to try and sway you to their idea. And that's dangerous, folks, but that's where we're at. So fear the lies, friend. Stay to the truth. Good. And may the good Lord give you the strength to be able to decipher what's what. Now, speaking of which, we're going to go over to another good friend of the show here. Big Buckin' Empire here. Chicken actually gave his take here, and I'm going to give Chicken his just due on this show and give him a moment to give his thoughts on it while he was driving to and fro from work. But yes, Big Buckin' Empire. Right there. Check him out on Facebook if you're not already there, folks.
Good bucking morning. How we doing this? Fine day. This February 24th of 2022.
And what a day it's been.
I'm doing pretty well. Big news today. Of course, we all woke up to see the news of Putin. Putin fucking did it. He went full-scale invasion, it seems. Attacks all over Ukraine, not just the two supposed independent provinces or whatever that he's been claiming. Attacks across, very strategic. So it sounds like they attacked most airports and anywhere where military transportation and points of interest there across the entire country. Seen helicopter attacks on an airport. There's, I guess the main thing to bring up here is, you can go find all that footage and all that stuff. I just wanted to give my quick take as I jump on Twitter this morning and I see all the neocons, all the warmongering liberals that pretend that they're trying to push for policies to protect poor and brown people and people all over the world, and Meanwhile, they're super excited to go to war with Russia. And Dave Smith had a really good take. Is you need to understand that going to war with Russia is not like going to war with Iraq. Of course, with Iraq, we had speculations of weapons of mass destruction. There is no speculation with Russia. We know they have them. And Putin's crazy enough to use them. We just watched him do a full-scale invasion on Ukraine. That makes no sense. That's why I never thought it was going to happen. That's why I haven't really talked about it. I was like, that makes no sense. His economy's not big enough to withstand what would happen with sanctions and other issues that are going to come to his country, unless he's got a plan. But yeah, everything right now shows he's crazy enough to actually fucking use some of those WMDs that we know he has. So yeah, calm down, neocons. All you warmongers need to chill out, because a lot of people could potentially die because of this. There needs to be a real thought out way to do this. And oh my God, we have to trust Biden right now. Gotta put your faith in the guy, no matter if you like him or not and want to make fun of him. I get it, but gotta hope he's making the right call right now. Gotta hope he's whoever's in his ears right now and whatever planning. He's never been good when it comes to war over the years, so I don't have much faith, but we'll see what he can do. This could be his time to shine. Maybe he can turn around and be one of the greatest presidents ever if he can avoid a war, a full-scale war with Russia. That being said, what's Russia? I don't understand the mindset unless Putin knows he's got backing from China. I do not understand this move. This is suicide for your country. Like, the people of Russia are going to suffer so badly. The economy's going to tank. It's already kind of a dying economy anyway. It's not that bad. I think somebody said like the economy of California is like already bigger than Russia's total economy. Like, and I know California's still pretty big. It's most of our U.S. economy, but still, that's fucking insane. That everybody thinks Russia's this economic powerhouse. The only thing that keeps them going really is oil. I heard something that they're one of the largest distributors of wheat as well. So plan on oil and food prices to start skyrocketing. But got to put this into perspective, though. This is the first time since Iraq, I guess, but there was a lot of attacks that we did unjustifiably on Iraq. But prior to that, think about, like, when was the last time that there was a dogfight? They literally, like, over the skies of Ukraine, Russians had fighter jets, and they actually had a dogfight. It hasn't happened since, like, fucking Vietnam. What the fuck? It's 50 years since we've seen something at this scale and this potential of danger. I could be wrong on that. I'm just shooting from the hip here. Get ready for the propaganda. It's coming. Already been seeing it on your corporate media. It's getting all in.
Oh yeah,
they're excited for some more. Got finally something else to talk about, and of course, this is all Trump's fault. Don't forget, Orange Man is bad, and Orange Man caused all this. That's going to be somehow tied in to where Trump caused all of this to happen somehow. Anyway,
Orange Man
hearts out
bad.
to people of Ukraine, the people of Russia. We'll see what's going to happen. There's probably three outcomes. One, Putin is all in on this. He continues invading and tries to provoke NATO. The only way NATO will strike is if he goes beyond the western border of Ukraine and happens to have anything in a NATO country, they will respond. Again, I think that's horribly stupid for him. I think his smartest move is he did the big push. Now he can go, I just want my territories, and he can totally back off. They can have some talks and conversations. I think that was his plan all along, but now that he's done this, I have a feeling the war machine, propaganda machine are going to condemn this so heavily, maybe more than he had originally planned, to the point where the powers that be, if you will not give up on those two small regions that he wants. He's trying to say, I'll take all of Ukraine, and then they'll come in, let's not have war, let's not fight. Here, you can have those little countries, or that little section of Ukraine that's already kind of half Russian anyway. I think that's what the plan is. That's the best outcome, I guess. If the United Nations, NATO, America, everybody, if they'll agree to that, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Third one, I don't know how that plays out, but it involves China. China's kind of sitting there like, this is obviously Russian aggression, and the whole world's going, no, Russia, you shouldn't be doing this. This is bad Russia. And China's going, hey, both of you guys calm down. Not saying, hey, Russia, you shouldn't have done that. They're kind of taking Russia's side a little bit, but still trying to promote peace. So it's really interesting to see China's take in the moment. Let's see what the future holds there. God bless everybody. Pray for all those that are in danger right now, and let's hope it doesn't spread to anybody else. This is potentially a really, really scary time. Hopefully I'm right, and he did for the big push, and he's going to ask for the small section, and then everything moves on from there. But I have a feeling that's not going to happen, and this is what all the war people wanted. They wanted aggression from Putin. Now they got it. So I don't think they're going to let go of this. Even if Russia tries to back off, I don't think these people are going to let it go. It's going to get bad. Anyway, that's all I got today. Take care of yourselves. Be careful with that misinformation that's out there and all that propaganda. Pray for all the people that really,
more
really
than ever
do need it in this moment of potential world war. And don't forget to check us out. We will be live Friday night right here on Big Bucket Empire. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you then. Appreciate you. As always, love you. Bye.
So there you go on that, folks. So that was our good buddy Chicken over at Big Bucket Empire. He's given his take on things. So there we are, folks. And like Chicken even came in, Jess West said, this philosopher king, also the economy references Italy. I fucked that up. It happens. And Justin Chris, definitely check him out as well over at Yanked Up Podcast. But yeah. Where does Chicken go from here? Or Chicken. Where does Putin go from here? Well, Chicken, to answer that question, whatever a man can do is what a man will do. He'll go until he gets resistance. Pretty much. That's how anybody operates under these circumstances. Also, just a quick aside, folks, because it's necessary. And I know that Chicken's in the audience now at the moment. Yes, Chicken, I have it now. I am the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion. Acknowledge your tribal chief. Yes. I regained the championship at Elimination Chamber, and just like when I gained the title in early 2020, everything fucking started just turning right around. Everything started just becoming roses from there. I acquired the belt at Elimination Chamber this last weekend, and then I was even joking to myself, like, wow, I won the belt. So this is like a good time for Putin to invade, I guess. And sure enough. So, folks, me winning the title, it's like the stars aligning or the planets, getting into the proper form. It's just big things happen when I win the title here, folks. But yes, the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, which you can look at that beautiful belt. You can find us on YouTube and you can find us on Spotify, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. And I am its champion, folks. Pretty much the most prestigious championship in the universe. Okay, there is no known championship in the known universe more prestigious than this, and I am its champion, folks. And Leaky says, "Congrats! Oh, thank you. Yes, I am the champion, my friends." And unfortunately, it happened right when it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Yeah, folks. Goodness gracious, we've had us quite a couple of days, haven't we? So yes, I had to get that in for Chicken. Acknowledge your tribal chief, Chicken. Yes, it is I now. But sorry, folks, but now getting shifting back to something slightly more serious because the question is, where does it go from here? As far as Putin really wants it to, and as far as he sees, so pretty much any former state of the Soviet Union should be a little worried at the moment. Chica goes, I'll be taking that back soon. No. It shan't never happen. It will not. You will note. It shan't never happen, Chicken. I am a 10-time champion and it will go on for a long, long time. Yes, thank you, Leaky. But yes, I've got great luck with this belt, folks. So we will see what happens, but I don't know. Jessica goes, nope, Tony's winning it next. We will see. We've got AEW pay-per-view coming up in early March, and then we've got WrestleMania. Will I be able to hang on to the title into WrestleMania? That is a very big question, folks. And you're going to have to tune in right here, KOE Nation on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. You're going to have to tune in Big Buck and Empire on Facebook and YouTube. And you're going to have to tune in, most importantly, Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube to find out which one, me, Tony, or Chicken, who's going to walk into WrestleMania, who's going to walk out of WrestleMania. The champ. So I've walked into WrestleMania, but I've never walked out of WrestleMania, the champ, and that's going to change this year, folks. So all that being said, that is something to really look forward to. But we do also appreciate Wes J. Ryan giving your perspective on just what we think is going to go on in Ukraine. I sent some invites out to folks. We'll see if anybody actually has got the cojones, has got the guts, has got the intestinal fortitude within them to come on. But we'll see what happens, folks. But yeah, so that was, God, this day is gonna go down as one we're gonna remember for a while, folks. We're gonna remember where we were this day. Even if this goes away in a couple of months, it's still gonna be something we talk about for a long time because this was the first time I really, like, in any of our lifetimes that we can remember. Like a lot of us kids, like kids my age, people that were my age when we were kids, we remember a little bit of the Cold War, but not much of it. And like when we were kids, we were the Cold War's over. Well, what happened? We won. How many people of ours died? None. How many of theirs died? Fucking bunch of them. Oh, okay, cool. So that was kind of that's what we were educated on, whether that's right or wrong. Norwalk IRL goes, great content. Yes, definitely check out Norwalk IRL on YouTube as well, folks. This is a great channel, folks, at Norwalk, Iowa, just trying to build an online presence for their very real community. It's something very interesting. It's a neat project. Check them out. Urasama, how the fuck you been? Welcome back. Urasama, I'm thinking they might settle it all with baklava bake off. Whole world gets to try some and cast a vote. Well done. I don't know what to make of where this goes, but How far does he go? Like I said earlier, what a man can do is what a man will do. So believe what you like, but I think that's where this is going to end. Feel like you never know. Russia might be like, fuck this. We're getting revenge for World War II. We're going all the way back to fucking East Berlin. God damn it. Where are they going to meet resistance? That's the biggest question. And I want you to ponder this question for a moment. Do you, in your heart of heart, do you really think this would have happened under Trump? That's a question that everybody's had to ask themselves just once or twice. And I had kind of a ringing in my head of a prediction that I had earlier of, every day Biden's in office, Trump is going to look that much better each day. Goodness gracious. Yo, Phil. Urasama says, times are wild. Don't know what will go on. I'm just hoping we don't end up in a nuclear. Yeah, a nuclear exchange would be real fucking bad. That would be kind of the worst case scenario, really. Hang on, let me just write something down. Just so I remember something. Urasama says, personally, I think Trump was a lot stronger internationally because he was way more willing to fight, and while dangerous, it acted as a deterrent. Oh yeah, I understood what you meant there, and I kind of agree. Also, it was the idea of you have a negotiator versus Biden, who's a professional Mandarin bureaucrat. Okay, like he's just been a bureaucrat his whole life. He has no real negotiation skills because power at one point, once you achieve a certain level of political power, it never gets checked. You never have to worry about losing it. And you're used to requests being considered commands. It's a whole different way of living, and you're not relatable and you don't understand how people work. Trump had to negotiate. And so yeah, he might have been seen as giving away a lot, but there wouldn't have been troop movements. There wouldn't have been people getting killed. Like they would have been, it would have seemed like it was more of a paperwork exchange than a big fucking war like we have now. Urasama, Biden is about the worst person to have in the situation, or maybe any situation. But yeah, it's unfortunate that oh man. It's like, and yeah, it's like a chicken said, and this is something Scott Adams had. It's almost like he kind of wanted to flip the roles because this is now what you need Trump for. And earlier, like COVID, that was something that was Trump was not well equipped for. Thoughts on Scott Adams' take? Has Putin changed meds, and how has that changed his personality at 69 years old? I don't know if that's the case. I think this is Putin trying to blaze his name into the history books at this point. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I think Putin's gonna find a way to really, and he has now. Like, we all have he's got all of our attention, whether we like it or not. So, I hope Biden doesn't fuck this up, and that's basically where everybody's at. Which that's good thing when you got such low expectations. Like, all right, Biden, just don't fuck this up. Which, goodness gracious, it's kind of like the first debate. I kind of made the joke that, all he has to do is not have a medical episode, pass out, or defecate on stage, and he will have exceeded everyone's expectations. And he did. And that's why he exceeded everyone. Like, excuse me. I remember folks on the news were talking about, oh my goodness, this is the greatest speech ever. Well, yeah, because he basically had such low expectations. He exceeded them by far. But this isn't a moment where if you are not as big as the moment that is before you, it will crush you. And unfortunately, Biden, the bureaucrat, is ill-equipped for this moment. And that's very unfortunate. And that's why I say, what's Putin going to do? Whatever he can. When you realize that, suddenly the world becomes a bit more disconcerting. Man's going to do whatever man can do. Man will do what he can do. And he'll do whatever he can at this point. When's the resistance going to be? The Polish border? The German border? East Berlin? Like, I mean, these are real questions now that seemed insane 48 hours ago. And yet here we are. Here we fucking are, folks. So, Biden voters, how you feeling about your decision today? How you feeling about that? I could really go for a mean tweet right about now, folks. Holy fuck. Now, shifting gears a little bit, but it's worth mentioning. The markets have responded to this. The smart money is saying that they think this is going to go on for a little while. Now, not to be construed as any investment advice. This is just overarching analysis, folks. So, not to be construed as actual investment advice. Yeah, so I'll keep that on mind. But the Dow had a very bad day. Stock market had a bad day. The Russian equivalent of it, it's like Here, let me just look real quick. I had a chart for it earlier when I was just looking at it. Here we go. The MOEX. There we go. Even just the name is intense. But yeah, that was the action the MOEX fucking took today. Fucking drop. So that was bad. That was bad. But that's a temporary thing. That's something you could bounce back from. Grains are, at near all-time highs. So's gold. That tells you, and I'm not going to recommend anybody gets into anything like that. When things are at their all-time high, even if you know they're going to go up more, you got to be really fucking trepid about jumping in when it's at an all-time high. Urasama says short sell NASDAQ. That's according to Urasama, not to be construed as actual investment advice. Fuck, I'm good at that. But that's just people's opinions on things, and maybe you're right. Time will tell. The future will tell. To me, it's just what this is telling me is people are scared. They're running to real things. They're running to commodities. They're running to gold. They're running to grains. And strangely enough, Bitcoin is not doing well. Like, you'd think Bitcoin would be doing great, but no, it's not. It actually lost another chunk of its value just either yesterday or the day before. And so I think crypto's interesting. Crypto's really interesting. I think some people think it's more than it actually is. I've noticed some crypto advocates almost have like a pseudo-religious adherence to it, but it's got its place, definitely. Like, a cryptocurrency is really going to be the only way that you can actually move monetary value when we become interplanetary species within our own solar system. That's the only way you can actually pay people is through cryptocurrency. Urasama, don't listen to me. I've only lost money in stocks. Urasama, I don't mess with them anymore. That kind of reminds me of a Mike Birbiglia joke where he talks about how he started a Ameritrade account and he put $1,000 into it, and that $1,000 investment I somehow turned into $684. Yeah. And I just thought that was just such a funny joke, and like just so self-deprecating. Like, yeah, the market didn't quite go the way I thought it would. Like, so that's just funny to me. But yeah, so we've got the grains at all-time highs. We got gold all-time highs. Crypto not doing well. This is kind of a check for it. Now, also keep in mind that the reason Bitcoin, like a lot of people don't know this. I was actually watching it at the time. The reason, because I was I'm still kicking myself for not going deeper, but like I knew one guy that was just mining them all day and he was saying crypto, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And now he's fucking living fucking fat and pretty now. But I was watching crypto when it went from like a couple of bucks to like $220. I was watching Bitcoin. And what happened there, a lot of people don't remember. What caused this big jump was the government of Cyprus saying they were going to do a bail-in where they were going to take about 20% of everybody's deposits and just use it because it was a big financial crisis there. And Cyprus was winky face, allegedly, where the Russian mob was hiding a huge fucking chunk of its money. And they converted a bunch of their cash into Bitcoin. And that caused it to jump from about $6 to about $220. And my first thought was, all right, guys, way to go. Your currency is held up on how much the Russian mafia likes you. Feeling great about your business fucking model. So yeah, Bitcoin is a good speculation, but poor investment, in my opinion. It's great speculation, but in terms of actual investment, it's not something that you should rely on pretty heavily. Urasawa goes, pretty much my story of stocks right there. That's kind of funny. Well, that's the story of everybody's stocks today because they're all in the shitter. Now, the question is, really, the smart money is going to tell you when this is going to be over. The commodities are going to have all like an across the board pullback, and you're going to have the Dow have a week of incredible days, and Biden's going to talk about how he's just the greatest fucking leader of all time. Now, actually, Biden's got a State of the Union coming up, don't he? Actually, hold on. Let me look up what day does Biden have the State of the Union? Because holy fuck, this is one hell of a time to have the State of the Union. State of the Union 2022. March 1st. Oh no. Oh no. It's February 26th. Oh no. March 1st. Biden's having his first State of the Union. Like a week after World War III breaks out. Holy fuck. Oh my God, folks, get your popcorn. We're doing a fucking thing for that. Okay. We are watching that. We are going to fucking C-SPAN that and fucking, oh my God, folks, we're going to do a live play-by-play of that because Biden thought he was doing himself a favor by delaying the State of the Union. Really, he should have done that shit like January 2nd. Like, hey, everybody. Yep. COVID sucks. We'll get through it. God bless America. Like, that should have been his fucking speech. Oh, no. And yeah, Osama, yeah, it's going to be great. And now he fucked up bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. Because call me crazy. Even I don't think this whole thing's going to be wrapped up by March 1. Like, I think they're still going to... I think he's going to have an awful hard time painting a fucking rosy picture of that come March 1, no matter what happens. Like, oh boy, this is like, do you suppose the speechwriters just threw the speech away? Like what they had planned, like, yep, just throw that away. Yep, that'll never see the light of day. All right. Okay. All right. Well, get ready to talk about Ukraine a lot and how we don't like Russia. And oh boy. So I got an honest question for the audience here. Just anybody in the audience. Do you think American boots are actually going to be on the ground in this? Do you think it's actually going to get there? I mean, somebody's going to have to go do that. Somebody's going to have to go. And the fucking European armies sure shit don't want to. It's like, yeah, America, we thought that was the point of NATO. Is you just come and you just fight all our wars for us. Yeah. Like, no, like that. Apparently that is what it means now, but oh fuck. So that's where we sit, folks, is how far does Putin want to push and how far before America's leadership is willing to push back? This is a really bad time to not have faith in leadership, folks. Like Urasama and Chicken were pointing out, like this is kind of like we really needed to flip the roles here, because this is something that Trump is very well equipped for, and he would have been able to negotiate through this. Biden, he's never had to negotiate fucking anything in his life other than a bill with other senators that also just want more power. So that's not hard. Well, I'll give you a little more power in exchange for giving me a little more power. Oh, well, that's tough. I think I'll go with that. I think there's a chance Biden might just back off it, but otherwise probably. Oh, damn it. Well, that's the thing. Like, if Biden just backs off of it, it's not a great decision. It's not perfect, but fuck. It's better than committing fucking troops. And yes, I know all the, oh my God, what if this happens in the region? What if that happens in the region? I'm well aware. This is a powder keg that could go any way, folks. This is bad. I don't know how else to put this, folks. Like, this is one of those, of course, things are bad. Things are worse than bad. We're going to World War fucking 3 today. So I suppose, because I've sent some invites out, but nobody's coming this evening. So I suppose before I shift gears to a slightly different topic on the show this evening, we got some more comments here. I always support a smaller country fighting for independence, but I don't want a war if I can help it. Like you said, hard to find a good answer. Yeah, and these kind of questions, it's just a series of less wrong ones, unfortunately. So that is the tightrope we find ourselves on, folks. Because either way we fall is going to war, and it's gonna be the soft hides of the innocent getting chewed up by the dogs of war. And that's something that I've wanted to avoid desperately. And I had given Biden at least the tiniest bit of credence for ending the war in Afghanistan. But if the only reason that the goddamn war there was ended so we could gear up for war somewhere else, then God damn him. But at this point, like Chicken said, he is currently sitting in Pennsylvania Avenue, so we have to hope for the fucking best here. We have to hope. We have to hope against hope that he has the leadership. But unfortunately, like Chicken's like, I hope he could be the best president ever. Unless this motherfucker turns into FDR 2.0 real fucking quick, we've got problems. We got real fucking problems here. And it's the emperor wears no clothes and there's not a leader at the helm is the unfortunate reality here that we find ourselves in. We have somebody that occupies Pennsylvania Avenue, but we may actually be in a state of not having a leader. And that might actually be the reason why troops crossed the border today, folks, because Putin's well aware of that. We might have somebody sitting in the office, but we don't have a leader. Let that sink in, folks. In fact, I'm going to take a moment here to let that sink in myself. Goodness. So, that's the world we're in now, folks. World War III. Poland, maybe. Let me pull up a map, actually. I think that would be actually pretty cool. Let's just go to Google Maps. All right. Google Maps. No, I don't need any freaking COVID information. There we go. Now I'm just gonna zoom out here till I find me. There we go. There's the United States. Let's see. Hey, all right. It shows it over there for you too. All righty here, folks. So let's just bring that over here. Bring that in a few steps here. So, all right. I'm sure Google's used to this being a thing now over the last 24 hours. Boy, a lot more people are looking at this little chunk of the fucking earth now. God, I wish there was a way. There we go. There we go. Got rid of at least a little of that. No, I don't need any of that. Sweet. All right. Google can be awesome at times. So, all right, folks. So there's Moscow. Then Poland and Lithuania, says Dalton Carter. So we've got this big old map here, folks. We got Ukraine, and then next to it is Poland. And up here's Lithuania. I doubt Latvia and Estonia are just allowed to just chill. If Putin's grabbing, I'm betting Latvia and Estonia is probably not gonna enjoy what happens to them, if I had to guess. Like if Putin's just grabbing, and like I said, what a man can do is what a man will do, and can he do? Whatever he can. It's unfortunate, sad but true. And then at that point, hell, come on over to like a couple of these like Kazakhstan and a couple of these other countries that like came off when the Soviet Union fell. Because one thing that I really didn't take into account was psychologically, Putin said one of the greatest tragedies of the world was the collapse of the Soviet Union. That was one of the greatest tragedies of history, was that collapse. Like he thought, even though they were no longer going to be a communist government, they could have kept the Soviet Union together because the idea was sound as far as Putin was concerned. So, Poland, Warsaw, then Berlin's just right next to Poland. It's just right there. West Berlin was our side. East Berlin was the communist side. So how far are we going to let this go? When will he get pushback? Because if in 3 years we're talking about East and West Berlin again, then Biden goes down as like James Buchanan, fucking Franklin Pierce level bad president. Okay. If we're mentioning that in 3 to 5 years, then Biden goes down as one of the worst presidents in our history. If not, if this just is something that we just kind of joke around about and like it's just a little piece of history. I remember that little kerfuffle that happened a few weeks ago. Then okay, he should maybe get a few points for that one. But goddamn, if this goes like Dalton Carter's saying, Poland and Lithuania go, dumpster fire. This world is a dumpster fire. It's because we have no leadership. It's because it's badly managed. Delicious. So, goddamn, March 1st, the State of the Union. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that gets pushed back. I'll never forget. Trump had some really good State of the Unions, just to be frank. There we are. Biden just doesn't have that same pomp and circumstance in him, so I don't think we need to worry about him just blowing people away with his amazing State of the Union addresses. But he's got to do it. So we'll see how he does here on the 1st. And I'm covering that shit. That's going to be great. So, folks, this is the first time in my lifetime we've had a real, actual, factual expansionist empire on our hands. And I know every single non-American watching this is like, fuck you, Yanks. What the fuck? And like, no, that didn't count. We, invaded them and took them over for several decades and yada, yada, yada. But we left eventually. Kind of, sort of, not really. But hey, it's the thought that counts, right? So, yeah. That's one of the reasons I don't want America to get involved, because when America gets involved in a war, the wars don't end. I mean, I had too many friends of mine in high school that got... Anyways, that we don't need that again. Like, I don't know. Is there anybody here that's just looking forward to fucking putting your children and possibly grand fucking children into the Ukraine just so that the Biden crime family can continue to pilfer from corrupt energy companies? Really? Is that what we need to send our sons and daughters and cost our blood and treasure for? Is that what fucking is war for in our fucking 21st century? So the elites can continue to pilfer money? Folks, this is an awfully horrible fucking state of affairs we find ourselves in. This is fucking terribly bad. Make do with the time you have left, because it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter, folks. Yes, that was necessary. K.O.E. rant. So, that little map lesson there, that was fun, wasn't it, folks? Moscow is just, oh God. And then Belarus. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Bandit says, I'm not saying we should by any means, and this is going to the point of, if we do get into a war, win it and come home. That'd be nice, Bandit, but America hasn't done that in 50 years. Like, when we go to war, it never fucking ends. And that's why I'm just like, if this is the best we can do, as much as I hate to say that, if modern militaries are unable to hold major civilian populations that are hiding an insurgent population, they're just unable to do so, because they have no idea how much they've fought or who they've actually killed. And fight a hard fight you shall. The minute you disappear or you leave, the enemy will just pop up and claim victory. It doesn't really matter how hard you fight. So non-linear warfare like that, major modern militaries are just ill-equipped to take on. It's even Putin has had a really hard time with that in like Chechnya and certain areas. So, God, that'd be nice. That'd be real nice, Bandit. And I hope that's what happens if we do get in. But I have not seen any, like, at one point, you knew the wars that we had in Afghanistan and Iraq were just going to continually go because people were profiteering from them. And so it's kind of the old adage when it comes to government programs, anything that serves its intended purpose will continue. And that's why, like, especially those wars lasted so many decades. Bandit insurgency is more of an invention of the Middle East. Yes, but even then, it's still like, if you have that pretty much anywhere now, though, it's really hard for modern military to hold that area, especially when you had like a hearts and minds objective like the American military did. So that was increasingly difficult. Perfect. So the question really becomes at this point, how long are we going to stay in, and how much blood and treasure are we willing to put in? And to me, I'm just like, why would we go to war in the name of keeping Russia from giving gas and like providing and controlling the energy sector of some fucking corner of the world. Like, what is that really worth going to fucking war over? Like, it's one of those, like, maybe we could fucking talk this out, which is one of those things Trump was really well equipped to do. As Ronald Reagan said, according to Bandit 848, a government program is the closest thing we'll ever see to eternal life on Earth. Pretty much. Yeah, he's absolutely correct. Like, when I heard Biden was going to end the war, I actually didn't believe it. I figured there was going to be, oh, the thing happened. The thing happened, and now we have to stay in this war for another 20 years. And the war hawks were even saying, we got to stay here for another 30 years. Come on now. And yeah, luckily, the dogs of war didn't have their way for a little while. And Biden basically followed through on Trump's exit plan. So thank God. But, we did leave a lot of weaponry there, which we shouldn't have. A lot of equipment, a lot of weaponry, a lot of drones. In fact, it's one of the better memes I saw of Biden's plan to combat Putin is leave about $89 billion of it military equipment in Ukraine for him to pick up. That's how he's going to combat Putin. There you go. And yeah, that would be unfortunately right in line with how he has been performing as of late. So this is the unfortunate reality we find ourselves in, folks. Let me just get back to now. The question that I have to ask any of you is, A, like I said at the beginning, is this something that you're willing to commit your sons and daughters to? Ukraine. I'm not. Straight up. I'll be honest. No. This is not worth it. It is not worth the time, the blood, and the treasure. Like, it's going to be one of those. It's like lyrics to a good song that I like by a band named Clutch. What can I win? Satisfaction of being right. Bring back the USSR. We need that motivation. Which is actually funny. That's the actual next lyrics in that song, because I was just doing it over the all you can win is the satisfaction of thinking you're right. That's it at this point. Like, this is just dick waggling. Like to me, it's like, okay, Putin wants this stretch of land in some obscure corner in the world that no American could even point out on a map until fucking noon today. Okay. Actually, kind of speaking of that, my buddy Tony, he was joking with me earlier today. He's like, I'm sure Biden's arming the insurgents in Ukraine so they can shoot us with them later. And I said, not now. But later, yes, probably. Yeah, unfortunately. Whenever you want to know who America's going to be fighting in 10 to 15 years, just look at who they're fucking arming now. So it's like, well, shit. Okay, I guess we're going back to Ukraine at some point. And that's one of the reasons why I'm also like, fuck this. We don't need to do this. So I suppose, folks, my final word on Ukraine for the night is... fuck, wouldn't it be nice if we gave peace a chance? I know, it's an impossible dream. It's an impossible dream, folks, but it's one that I'm still holding on to. Oh, fuck, you have family in Ukraine? Fuck! Well, good luck. I hope they all make it out fine. Or at least if they're hunkered down in a place where, shit can't get them. Or at least they're off in some little quiet corner of the world. I hope the best for them. Oh, good Lord. Yeah. Prayers with all the folks who are going through this in Ukraine at the moment. Goodness gracious. I can only imagine. Like, cause like I live in a very small town. I live in a village of about 350 people. And so I always kind of joke that even if shit did go haywire and like World War VI broke out, I'm probably okay. Like, I don't think the bomb's going to be dropping in my little fucking village. But it's just one of those, fuck. You really got to feel for him, because like I planted myself in a quiet little corner of the world. And I'm sure there's a lot of folks in Ukraine who, up until this morning, thought they had planted themselves in a quiet little fucking corner of the world. Like, and now, what the fuck? Because Putin's got some fucking Soviet Union fever dream. Now I got a fucking, now my day is inconvenienced. My cousin is a lead singer of a rock band there. Oh, well, God bless her. And hopefully she can write some good protest music out of this. Or God bless everybody that's there, everybody that's having to live through it, everybody's having to go through it. I hope by the end of this, especially like you, Starman, your family there, I hope they all walk away from this happy, healthy, much the wiser. I really do. That's a lot to ask for in this particular instance. I'm hoping that the people there don't have to deal with too much of this nonsense. This is bureaucrats that can't get along in two different rooms, and now they're sending, it's like that song, just another poor boy off to fight a rich man's war. So yeah, that's, I really hope that there's some sort of resolution to this that's quick. Unfortunately, we've got some megalomaniacs in charge that are more obsessed with waggling their dicks at each other than doing anything of any good or consequence. So I hope that we can wrap up this particular topic soon, but I fear we will not. So be sure to check in right here, K.O.E Nation on YouTube and Twitch. Be sure to follow them both for all of the updates as to what's going to be happening here at fucking this crazy fucking journey we call life. But now, as your new champion, Little Fettuccine, God bless you, sir. Patty P, God bless. It's always great to see you. But you know what, folks? As I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us this evening for this very special World War III edition stream. It's all over but the crying, and I can't get over crying over you. Yes, folks, hopefully that is not the song we are singing tomorrow, but it very well could be. I am your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, one damn handsome man, the lord of the Scottish Highlands, the conqueror of the ethereal, and the man that will lead us to a brighter tomorrow, and the 10-time revolutionary wrestling podcast champion. You can find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, K.O.E Nation on Twitch, K.O.E Nation on TikTok. Be sure to find me at Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. And tomorrow night, 8:30 Central, be sure to tune into the Dog and Chicken Show so you can see Phil K.O.E, Tony G, Chicken take over the internet again. Big Bucket Empire on YouTube, Big Bucket Empire on Facebook. Join us tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I hope every last one of you makes it back here happy, healthy, much the wiser. God bless every last one of you, and I cannot wait to see you back here at the K.O.E Nation.
Smooths itself out.
Get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard to survive. El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah. See.